It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Got a good show set up for y'all today. Of course, we're going to get into Megan Thee Stallion's interview on Club Shay with Shannon Sharpe. We definitely got to get into it. It's one of the biggest interviews, one of the biggest trending topics in the music game right now. Great conversation. Salute to Shannon Sharpe for putting out another good interview. We're going to get into, of course, the back and forth situation between Deb and Nicki Minaj. And on the heels of it, Nicki is hinting at a possible hiatus. We're going to get into Lil Mama coming out and saying some disrespectful things towards Nicki Minaj, which I personally felt were a bit heavy-handed. It's a little too much for me. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about that. We're going to get into Cardi B teasing and previewing some new music. You know, a lot of people keep saying she's pump fake and she ain't got nothing in the tuck. We shall see. Okay. Gonna play the sample that she put up too. Hopefully we don't get flagged for it. It's very short. We're gonna get into that. Let me see if there's anything else of note that we're gonna be covering in this particular episode. I do believe that's pretty much the size of it at this time. But we'll see where things take us. All right. Now, first things first, as stated, we got to get into this interview with Megan Thee Stallion and Shannon Sharpe, right? As we all know, Megan just released the Megan album. There's been a lot of talk about it, positive and negative. You know what I mean? As of right now, according to Hits Daily Double, the album is ranked at number 3 on the Billboard charts. So, you know, ahead of her is Taylor Swift and Morgan Wallen. I think that's being overlooked. She sold about 65,000 copies independently, might I add, 18,000 of which are actual album purchases. The rest are due to streams, right? And remember, Megan album is released via Hot Girl Productions, which is her own independent company that she owns in distribution with WMG, which is Warner Music Group. So she owns this music. She's effectively an independent artist, but she has distribution from Warner, right? So this is all on her legwork. Her and her team, Roc Nation, you know, they helped her put some plays together. They help promote. They help, you know, get her partnerships, brand deals, and stuff like that. But the brunt of all of this is on her. And she put the money into the project and she's going to win big. Some people may say 65,000 sales isn't all that great. She's outselling. This project outsold the first week for Traumazine, which a lot of people liked. I wasn't a fan of that album, but I believe Traumazine did close to 50,000 the first week. So she actually exceeded her previous project, which was done with 2 labels in pocket, which was 300 and actually 3 labels if we're being specific, because there was 1501, right? That's who originally signed her. They went and did a partnership deal, really kind of like a first right of refusal deal with 300, and then 300 upstreamed her to Warner. So with 3 labels in pocket, she sold 50. She does it by herself. She's at 65,000. So keep that in mind. Plus the profit is actually hers, meaning she's going to get paid off of this music. Whereas many artists in the music industry, regardless of what they sell, they don't see none of the profits from their streams and sales. We just got to speak about this honestly. There's going to be some people out there that say I'm capping on Megan Thee Stallion. I would challenge you to go do the research yourself to learn about the business if you want to speak on it, because if you're not going to put the legwork to understand what it is that we're talking about, you might not want to speak at all. Okay? That's all I'm going to say on that. Now, let's get into the interview. There's a few segments that I do want to pull up. Number one, I want to pull up Shannon Sharpe's apology that he issued to Megan Thee Stallion. And, you know, I don't even know if Megan needed an apology based on the comments, but he did anyway. You know what I mean? Because he had a conversation a while back with Chad Ochocinco where he said something to the effect of if he had the opportunity, he would have Megan split like a quarter to three or something like that. You know, legs wide open type thing. Saying if he ever got the chance, he would like to smash. I don't think she took too adversely to that. I think a lot of men lust after her, but trying to be a class act, Shannon Sharp said, I want to go ahead and get this out the way in the beginning of the interview. So salute to him on that for being a stand-up person. Here we go.
Meg, before we go any further, I want to apologize to you personally. And I didn't, I always wanted to sit down and have a conversation with you. I didn't know if that was going to be possible. But I was always hoping that I got an opportunity to bump into you because I made a comment, I think it was like September, October, and I told a joke. And I said it in jest, but I believe the joke would have been just as funny had I left you out of it. So for any unwanted attention, harm, shame, embarrassment that I caused you or your family, I want to say, as a man, as I sit here before you, I apologize.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Anytime someone comes on the show, we have to toast because you have an amazing, you've been amazing, and you have an amazing career going forward. So this is my personal cognac, Shay by Laportier.
Okay, so Shay by Laportier?
That's what it's called, Shay by Laportier. Let me know what
okay, because I'm the cognac queen.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that.
Okay, you knows it. This is what they call it. It's called nosing.
You saw me.
Okay.
I have to, hold on.
Just.
Okay. I was waiting on it to really sting me.
It's smooth, ain't it?
It's smooth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was waiting on it to tear me up.
No. We don't do that.
Okay.
Well,
I like that.
Well, you know what? We're gonna send you away with a bottle with your very own.
All right, so that was the intro, and again, we're gonna play clips. We're not pulling it up. We're just gonna play audio clips of what was going down. All right, so that was the intro to the interview. He apologized, in case she got any unwanted attention, if there was any, backlash or any, hard feelings on her end based on his comments. He wanted to get it out the way and let it be known, love and respect. They took a toast of his liquor. His cognac. She fucked with it. She co-signed it. He said he gonna send her away with her own bottle. All right, cool. So within this conversation, they did speak about a number of things. But in this video, I'm only gonna hone in on a couple. You could go pull up the interview if you'd like. I thought it was really good. They talked about her connection to Beyonce, Jay-Z, going to Roc Nation, advice that she received from Beyonce, Jay-Z. They talked about artists that she would love to work with. What's it like going out on her first official arena tour? Some of the discourse around that. If she had any expectations. They talked about the album, some of the features, hidden features, all of that stuff. Again, it was a really dope conversation. The video, as of right now of my recording, has 1.2 million views in a day on YouTube. It's #1 trending on YouTube. So if anybody feels like she's not buzzing, anybody feels like she's not bringing in any sort of traction or attention, you'd be sorely mistaken. Okay? Let me go to my saved clips here to get into some things. So again, one of the things that was addressed in this interview was linking with Jay-Z. And I do want to talk about that. Moreover, meeting, getting advice and understanding Roc Nation, that they fuck with her, that they were going to put her on the path to success and get her out of the situation that she was in. As I stated, she was with 1501, which was a management group functioning as a label that signed her to a label that ended up signing her to another label. Keep that in mind, the type of situation she was in, which is why they said she was in an unconscionable contract. She wasn't receiving enough royalties. So here, she gets into the relationship with J and B. All right, so let's go into that.
So obviously Hove, normally, especially in occasion like this. So what was it like to meet Hove? Because I've met him a couple of times.
I met him at the Roc Nation office when I first got signed to Roc.
Okay.
And I was in the room and we just looking at stuff on the projector or whatever, like talking about what I was about to do. And Jay-Z just walked in like it wasn't nothing. And I'm like, y'all got me so fucked up. Like, Jay-Z up in my business? What's going on? Y'all care about me at Roc Nation?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, here we go. I'm really finna do some shit now.
Right.
We got Jay-Z up in here managing Megan Thee Stallion. Stop
Right.
playing with me.
So how was your conversation? When you talked to Jay, obviously you were at Roc Nation. So what was those conversations like?
It just felt like I was in the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was manifesting a lot of stuff in myself. Never did I ever think that I was actually going to be managed by the people that I looked up to.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like a big family. They're just so intelligent. Like, they've been through everything. They still going through it right now, but they just know how to carry it. And I'm learning from the best. I feel like I'm in the right spot. I'm in the right position. I ain't never felt so like safe in a situation where I feel like these people got my back. And I just see how much they grind and how much they hustle and how much they let all the talk and whatever else people gotta say just roll off their back. I'll call Jay or Des. Des is the woman who really run shit at Roc Nation.
Right.
And I'll be like, they see
Yeah, I know Desi name be hot out here in the streets, man. I just got to throw that out there.
and it's about me. They got me fucked up now. And they'll be somewhere on the island like, why you even care about that? You tripping. Like, I'll be like, why the fuck is y'all so cool all the time?
When you decided to go independent, did you talk to Jay? Because he's someone that the business augment is there. B, she knows what to do. So who did you, when you decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this on my own, did you talk to them or did you talk to
When
someone
I was
that you
in the
trust?
situation that I was in and I wanted to get out of it,
Right.
they told me you need to do this on your own. Like, you already know what it is. You got all the tools, all the legal shit that you're going through right now. I know you're learning something.
Right.
So you should be able to figure out how to get out here and be your own boss.
Right.
Beyonce is the person who actually inspired me to get my own tequila. Wow. Because I used to be the cognac queen. I'm still the cognac queen.
Yeah.
But as much as I used to, enjoy cognac and I promoted a lot of people like liquor brands, she was like, the next time I see you, you need to have your own.
Right.
You need to have your own alcoholic beverage.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? You're right, queen. I am going to have my own shit. So now I have my own tequila. It's called
Right.
Chicas Divertidas. And it's going to be so cute. I've been serving it throughout my tour.
Right.
And everybody's been loving it. So I feel like they definitely put me in a position to learn how to be my own boss.
I like that. Number one, she talks about feeling safe at Roc Nation. She talks about how they, treat her, how they advocate on her behalf, which if you look around over the course of the last couple of years, I don't think there's an artist in hip hop that's had more endorsements and brand partnerships than Megan Thee Stallion. We talking about hot girl sauce at Popeyes. We're talking about the new shit with the Prime Day that she just did with Amazon Prime. We're talking about being in fucking She-Hulk, acting. Didn't she have another ad going out at the same time as the fucking hot girl sauce with Popeyes? I think it was another big company she had an advertisement out with. Thought shit was used in all types of advertisements. Like, she was out here popping. She been out here popping. You know what I mean? And it didn't really pop like that until she got with Roc Nation. Furthermore, in the interview, she even talks about how her situation with 1501 really inspired her to go independent because being that they were at odds, she was going through so much red tape to do anything with her music. She was not able to perform when she would have liked. So to be honest, she probably could have put together this tour, this Hot Girl Summer tour, probably would have been put into effect a year or two sooner had everything gone the right way, had everything gone smoothly. Like, she was doing tour, like spot dates, but she wasn't on a complete tour, right? Because they were not signing off and allowing her to play the music in the venues, because that's a whole nother thing. When you play an artist's music in a professional venue that's registered with the performance rights organizations, that also creates money for the artist and for the label, or whomever owns the publishing, I should say, moreover, which she runs her own publishing. So they were effectively trying to stifle her in so many words, right? When she wanted to do collabs and features with people, they were not signing off on the paperwork, or they were giving her resistance. She ended up having to literally get a restraining order on the label so that they could not use their power to veto her decision making, right? It's not a lot of artists that find themselves in that position at the height of their career like she did. And there's not a lot of artists that find themselves on the other side of that type of behavior, or of that type of treatment, to where they can actually progress and move forward with their career. So Roc Nation really helped her with a lot. They helped her with the legal team. We know how strong the legal team over there at Roc is. Those are Jay-Z's personal lawyers. Those are, you know what I mean? They have a staff of just fucking craziness. You know what I mean? So you may wonder what the benefit is of going to them. But if you look at her, you see all of the benefits. Now, everybody's not going to receive those benefits. I mean, she's a star artist, right? Somebody did send me a clip of her serving the liquor while on the tour. Let me see if it's still in my inbox here. And if I can't pull it up in a timely fashion, I won't worry about it. But somebody definitely sent it to me recently. Yeah, here we go. So this ain't no big deal, but they had a food truck promoting the album and the liquor, which I think is dope. Chicas divertidas. I'll take a quick little screenshot of it, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen. And I'm sure y'all have seen it. She gets a lot of traction on her Instagram, but we're gonna show it just to show it. You feel me? So here we are. So this is Hot Girl Productions. That's her money. That's her putting the capital up to make this happen. Got the truck, is wrapped. You know what I'm saying? Got the logo. Got the album, Megan, new album available now. So that's dual promotion, dual marketing at the same time. And as she continues with her tour, this thing is pulling up. So you could bet your bottom dollar more people are going to continue to buy the album. I know some people, again, are looking at that 65,000 with disgust. But just remember, number one, the tracking week is not over. Right? That's 65,000, and we still got till Friday. So you can't really count her out. She might get to 80, she might get to 90,000 by the end of the week. You get what I'm saying? And have a strong debut with 85 to 90,000. You just never know. Not to mention the forthcoming weeks, all of her projects are above platinum, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think this one is going to be anything below that, especially if you fuck around and look up July 2nd, 2025, and you see it's platinum or double platinum or some shit like that. Just don't be surprised. She's going to continue to work this music. I think they've got a plan in place. We still haven't got into the international dates. We still haven't seen if she's going to launch dates out in Japan, which I would expect to see, especially with the Japanese influence on the album and collaborating with the artists and the anime samples and all that stuff. So that's going to be a whole nother component that's going to add and lend to the longevity of the album, regardless of what somebody like myself thinks of a record like Mamushi, which wasn't for me, but I understood the purpose and the significance of it, right? Now, getting into Beyonce telling her, "Hey, girl, you need to have a motherfucking liquor brand, because every time I see you, you getting overly lit. You out here with the goddamn, you out here drinking this motherfucking Hennessy with a straw. You need to have your face on this motherfucker, your name." Sure enough, I think that's dope as well. Because there's one thing for Beyonce to tell you that and give you an idea and plant the seed. But when you have that suggestion and you're managed by Beyonce's husband's company, and you can actually go into a meeting and say, well, you know, Beyonce did say I need to have my own motherfucking liquor. And it's like, let's put that on the table. Let's ideate. Let's put this together and make sure we can make it happen. I'm not going to accept nothing less. This is what I really need to make this happen. And then they help you actually put the plan together in order to make it happen. Again, that's another testament to them working on her behalf. Now, there's some people out there that want to see Jay-Z go down. We haven't even seen no reasons for Jay-Z to go down. They just see the downfall of niggas like Kanye and Diddy and feel like he's too closely associated with them not to have no skeletons in his closet. But just understand, if Jay-Z goes down, his assets go down, his company goes down. That means that your beloved Megan Thee Stallion will also catch some windfall on that. So for anybody that's a hottie, y'all should be heavily invested in Jay-Z's freedom so that your girl can continue to thrive. Okay? That's all I'm going to say on that. Now, when it comes to Jay-Z and Roc helping people get out of bad situations, I'm going to derail the conversation for just a moment because the producer Hit Boy, who used to be signed to Kanye's Good Music at one point as a producer on the label, he came out and spoke about how Roc Nation got him out of a bad publishing deal. He had been stuck in a predatory pub deal since he was about 17, 18 years old. He's now 37, and he finally now has an end date to where he can get out of that deal. So that means he's been in that motherfucker about 20 years. And this is the same Hit Boy that produced one of the biggest records of the past 15 years, Niggas in Paris, not to mention countless others, songs for Beyonce, so many other people. He was 19 when he first got in that publishing deal with Universal. He's 37 now, so he's been in that deal 18 years, and he was not making any royalties off of these big records. We could go down a fucking track record of what he's done for people in the industry. And it's amazing that he's still able to take care of himself and work. So we're going to play him, and then we're going to get back into Megan, all right? So I just want y'all to understand how people's lives are being affected by these people. We don't always get to hear these stories.
Time. Right. But people like, I know you went through that deal where you had a deal at the beginning that took a long time to get out of.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm actually still in my publishing situation.
For how long?
Your
original one?
I signed when I was 19 years old.
You're still in your original?
37, so y'all been in the deal for a long time. Yeah, it's a co-pub with Universal Publishing and Polo, and it's just the way it was set up. It's just ancient terminology in the contracts, and I just now, thanks to like Desiree and Jay-Z and people like that really like kind of got me to the place I'm in now where I have an end date. But before, my whole career I was working without having an actual end date to the way we really get our money, which is through publishing, you know what I mean? So I'm like, just a little bit more out, and that's gonna be like life-changing for me, you know what I mean? Just to even have freedom as a grown man. Like, I haven't been able to go do other deals or go get advances in different places like my counterparts have, and just like even, I eat very well, but it's like I know what it really is supposed to be, you know what I mean? And it's just like, that's gonna be the day.
All right. So I do want to point out, when he said Polo, we're talking about producer Polo the Don. Polo the Don and Tricky Stewart and a couple other people have been responsible for fucking up the careers of songwriters and producers under these predatory contracts, these pub deals where they sign them as a producer or a writer under their company. They go put them in a situation with Sony or Universal. And then those very same artists and writers and producers, when those songs start coming out, they don't see anything, right? Because I told y'all before about this clause called the MDRC. We don't got to spend too much time on it. But the MDRC basically gives you a minimum commitment where we'll just say 10 songs. They say you got to put out 10 songs a year. You say, oh, I could do that fucking easily with my eyes closed. And then they start giving you all of these different provisions in the contract that will prohibit you from actually counting as 10 songs, right? In a simple world, you and an artist go in the studio, you make a song, you split that song 50-50, right? So that song under the MDRC clause is not a complete song for you. You'll take that 50%, you'll apply it towards the next song. You get another song with 50%. Now that you've produced 2 songs, it's counted as 1. But then they'll say, you can't work with an independent artist. It has to be a major label artist, right? Then they'll say, oh, that's a major label artist, but did the song get released as a single? No, it don't count. Did that song hit the top 40? It didn't. It don't count. So it was all of these different things to where you're always working in the negative. It's the same way that record labels put you in a position where they give you $500,000, $300,000, $1 million or more in some people's case. And your album finally comes out and you're like, oh my God, we just did, 500,000 copies. Clearly I've recouped. And they start showing you all of the paperwork and showing you all of the, nope, we spent money here. We did the marketing promotion here. You went on tour. You went and did a press run. You went and did this. You went and did that. You're $6 million in the hole. And every time you think you're making progress toward that number, they showing you reasons why you're not. So shout out to Roc Nation for not only helping Megan Thee Stallion get out of a predatory contract, but also helping Hit Boy to find an expiration date on his publishing contract, which means very soon he'll actually be able to start cashing in on the catalog of music that he's produced over the last 18 years, which is actually quite vast. Hit Boy has been on every Beyonce album. We'll just say that. Well, not every Beyonce album, but every Beyonce album from like 2010 on up. Yeah. Anyway, back to Megan. Let's see here. Also in the interview, she addressed looking up to Lil Kim. So we're going to speak. We'll let her speak on that. Let me pull this piece up.
But obviously, as a female rapper, we know the ones, Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, Charlie Baltimore, all those ones that came before you. MC Lyte, Queen Latifah. Shout out to Latifah. I just saw her the other day. So when you were growing up, what female rapper was like, I like her. That's what I would like to. I'm not saying you wanted to be like that,
Yeah.
but who did you listen to growing up?
I'm gonna say this one more time. I used to want to be just like my mama.
Really?
Because my mama was a rapper. But my mama
What was her name?
Hollywood. But my mama's favorite female rapper was Lil Kim.
Okay.
So she put me on Biggie before she put me on Lil Kim, and I used to love Biggie so much. I still love Biggie. But she was like, if you like Biggie, I got something for you that's gonna fuck you up. So then she started playing me Kim, and I was like, what is this? So I definitely was on Kim early, but definitely my mama was my favorite female rapper.
Have you ever met Lil Kim?
Of course I've met Kim. And you would think how much shit Lil Kim be talking with that deep ass voice on them fucking beats.
She's 6 foot tall.
You would think she finna be tall as a motherfucker and just the voice finna be deep like that. I met Lil Kim and she was like, hey, what's up? I was like, Kimberly, where's the real Lil Kim? Cause this ain't Kim. She is so nice and she's so sweet and she gives just like baby girl energy. Like she is just so cute and petite and nice. And I was like, I cannot believe you are this sweet.
Right.
I love her.
When you were growing up, Megan Houston.
All right. So that's receiving that love from an OG. They've linked up multiple times, you know what I'm saying? And then there's actually a photo that I'm about to put on the screen of Megan Thee Stallion and Lil Kim. Let me pull that up for y'all. And I'm also going to pull up a clip of Lil Kim co-signing Lotto and Megan Thee Stallion back in 2020. You know? So she's been supporting for a long time. This is Megan and Lil Kim. The hottie link up. You feel me? So let's get to the clip of Lil Kim speaking about Lotto and Megan. And again, this is an interview that she did with Rob Markman and Genius from 2020, where she had high praise. Now, in this video, she primarily speaks about Lotto, how much she likes her, but toward the end, she gets into Megan.
Lotto believe it or not, Mulatto, she reminds me a lot of myself too. I love
Cause she
her.
talks slick. She talks very slick, Kim.
She talks slick. And she talk like a nigga. Like she talk like a dude. She talk like a dude, and I love that. So like Mulatto is that. And then I was watching one of her videos one time she put on her stories or something like that. And her personality really goes with her music. That's what I felt when I was watching her. And I'm like, dang, she really in the street. You could tell she really in the street. And I like that. Because I was really in the street. So I'm identifying with her. But then Megan is really, but you know, like she came up, her mom, you could tell her mom was really in the street doing what she do. So.
And the lyrics, man, she on Savage, where she got her first #1 single and got Beyonce on the joint. She had the crazy line, I would never trip on them if I had them.
Yeah.
Bitch, that's my trash. You the maid, so you bagged them. Like, the wordplay was kind
All right. So that's Kim and Rob Markman, in which Lil Kim praised Lotto, Megan Thee Stallion, and she gave a shout out to Megan's mom, saying she felt like she was real authentic, real thorough. She was really out in the street doing her due. And I ain't gonna lie, hearing all this good talk about Megan's mom as a rapper, I'm gonna have to do my due diligence to look in and see like if I could find some music from Megan's mom, just to hear what she sounded like. Because Megan spoke very highly of her in the interview. She talked about how she wanted to be like her mom, which I've already known, and she's talked about at length throughout her career. But she talked about you know, how her mom really used to push her with her pen, to where if she was rapping something and she felt like it wasn't good enough, Mama Dukes would say, do it again. Write it again. You ain't going hard enough. Fix it. You know? And perhaps that's what contributed to some of the early work that a lot of people are still in love with from Megan, was her mom giving her not only inspiration, but also giving her that loving critique and that extra push to be like, yeah, that's cool. That's dope what you did. But I know you could go harder. I know you could come harder. I know you could, that line you had, if you just rewrite that shit, you'll make it better. And unfortunately, she just doesn't have her mom here with her today. Rest in peace. So perhaps for anybody who feels like her pen may be slacking, I don't feel that way personally, but I've seen people have that critique. Maybe she's missing that. And that's something that you can't replace. It is what it is, you know? But I feel like, personally, lyrically she's gotten better. But, you know, that's always up to preference and perception. Okay? That's that. Moving forward. Some other things that were addressed in the interview. She talked about shit. She talked about ghostwriting. You know, Shannon Sharp asked her about that. Asked her thoughts on that. Has she received help in the booth? She says, nah, I write all my own shit as far as my verses. She says that she will take help on hooks, which is pretty standard. That's what most rappers have no problem conceding to. That's something that's been around for years. Rappers go in the booth, they get in, you know what I mean? Go in the studio, link up with the producer. They got the vibes coming. They body in the verses. And then it's like, all right, what we going to do for the hook? Then you might start asking the room, all right, what y'all, like, we got to make this shit catchy. We got to make this hook as dope as possible. Put your thoughts on the table. I'm going to come up with some shit. We try to put, you know what I mean? Maybe we see who has the best idea for the hook, and we're going to go with that. Right? Even everybody's beloved Nicki Minaj, she talks about the same thing. She writes all of her verses, but she will take help from a hook. If a producer already has a hook in the beat and it's there, they'll keep it. Or if she feels like it could be better, and I'm talking about, you know, just period. If most artists, they feel if it could be better, we're going to change it. But input on hooks is not an indictment on an artist's craft. Okay? Just want to be clear about some certain things. And I think I actually have the clip where she spoke about it, but I'm just trying to get to it because I got so much shit saved. You feel me? All right, so here we have it.
When my mom was alive, my mama and me used to go back and forth freestyling, or she'll listen to something I wrote or something I recorded, and she'll be like, you could say it harder than that. Or yeah, she'll be like,
Mom was like that?
Mama was like, you could say it harder than that. Or she'll say you ain't going hard enough. You need to go in there and do it again. So taking a suggestion from somebody, I feel like is cool.
Yeah.
Like everybody need a little inspiration. But me personally, like I like to write my own verses because it's very hard for me to say things that I did not write. It's very hard for me to believe what I'm saying if I ain't say it.
Right.
But I don't think nothing wrong with you getting help.
Right.
Cause I'm gonna take some help on the hook.
Right.
Cause I talk a lot, so I'm gonna write them verses.
Right.
But when it gets to the hook, I feel like it gotta be catchy, it gotta be simple, it gotta be straight to the point, and I'll be talking. So somebody I'll take your advice.
You take advice on that.
Yeah, I'll take advice on that.
Have you?
I feel like.
And following up on that, unfortunately, it cut off, but he also asked her about the prospect of her possibly writing for other artists. She was a little bit hesitant to answer. It felt like she wanted to say yes, but she said no. And then she went on to say, I would like to write for other artists in the future, but she didn't admit to coming up with any bars for anyone else. But again, if you see the interview yourself, you'll see that she kind of took some time to stew about how she wanted to answer that question. And personally, I feel like if the answer was a real 100% fact no, she would have said that out the gate. Like, nah, I ain't never wrote for nobody, but I would love to do that. I haven't had the opportunity to do so. But she took a minute to be like, how do I want to answer this fucking question? Because I don't want nobody even digging in, trying to find out where my DNA might be in somebody else's raps. So no. But we'll see though. You know what I mean? Anything else that I want to delve into about Megan's interview before we move on to other things? I think I've covered everything that I kind of set aside. She also talked about her relationship with Cardi B, which I do want to make sure we cover, right? Because again, there's been so many different accounts, and we know those accounts out there, and we know those people are typically from the op side. And when I say the op, I'm talking about her ops because I have none. That put out these stories about Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B having some unspoken beef, like they're behind the scenes beefing, or like they're when they see each other getting ready to put out a song or an album or a photo even, they say you could look and see that the other comes and follows up, and it's kind of like a competition, a silent competition between them where they trying to outdo each other. I don't know that to be true, but I've heard about it. I've seen people talk about it. So I think it's always best and vital when we have the opportunity to hear Megan or Cardi speak about the other, so those ideas and rumors can be laid to rest. I'm hungry as fuck. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm hungry as shit.
You know who I think your spirit is Cardi B. You and Cardi, y'all spirits. I mean, y'all like really high energy.
Yeah.
And I just love you guys together. What's Cardi like?
She is so sweet. She's very, what's the word I want to say? She's kind of shy to be Cardi B. Like, really? You would think Cardi is like loud and she just don't give a fuck and she just boom. No, my girl is actually a little shy. And every time we see each other, she be acting like it's the first time she's seen me ever in life. And I be like, girl, I just saw you. Like, turn up. So then we been like, after we get around each other for like 20 more minutes, then she'll be at normal again.
Man, I'm looking at the song WAP. How?
What?
I mean, I guess you was dribbling that basketball.
Well, that happened during COVID. So I recorded that in my living room at that time. When I got the beat, I was like, okay, this how we coming? Here we go. And I recorded 2 verses, and I was like, Cardi, please don't take off my other verse. Like, just please, let's go back and forth. And she listened to the whole thing, because I don't even think she had heard the second verse at first.
Right.
And she was like, oh shit, okay, well, we doing this.
Did you know you had a monster on your hand?
I didn't. I just knew I had a song with Cardi B, and I was so excited. Like, I was so happy because I had never met her before. And when they said, Megan, Cardi wants you to get on this song, I was like, Cardi want me to get on the song? What? So then we met, and then I recorded my stuff, and it was amazing.
And you know, like people, that's a saying now. You know that, right?
What? Wings and pizza.
Yeah, no way. Okay, okay, wings and
mean?
pizza.
Worship and praise.
That's what you lead with now.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, WAP was #1 on the Billboard 100, reached over 1 billion streams on Spotify. WAP was the top trending Google search in a calendar year. Do you know how many times people search Google in a day? Do you know how many people are in the world?
And they trying to figure out what WAP is.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, like, what is this?
You know what it is?
I know what I didn't know, but I know what it is now.
Okay.
I said, okay.
No, I'm so happy. That is one of my favorite songs that I've ever done. I love her. I'm so glad she asked me to do that.
One of my favorite songs to listen to, too.
Yeah. Talk to him.
All right. So that's Megan talking about doing WAP with Cardi, not to mention that they have other records such as Bongos. They got the Wannabe remix with Glorilla. I expected to see Cardi make an appearance on the Megan album, and perhaps we do get that on a deluxe version. Hopefully she has a deluxe planned out. It'll be dope if she shows up on there. I still would love to see her get that Jay-Z feature on there personally. I would love to see her get another Beyonce feature personally, especially as an independent artist doing things herself. And, you know, it's no guarantee that that's going to happen, but that's just what I would like to see. Speaking for myself. But I believe that's everything that I wanted to cover in the interview. Again, if you haven't seen it yet, just go to Shannon Sharp Club Shay. It's on there for you. The interview's about an hour long. It's over 1.2 million views as of this recording. Probably going to keep going up from here. Now, we're going to move into Cardi B. Like I told y'all at the beginning. No, actually, let me see if there's anything else I want to cover about Megan before we get into Cardi. Because I do have an article here where she spoke to Rolling Stone. I'm glad I thought of this shit. Where she called Victoria Monet her twin, which in the Shay interview, she actually spoke about how the song came together with her and Victoria Monet and how they were in the studio and she liked to set the moods with the lights low and she's a mixologist, so she was putting together drinks and mixing and the whole nine. She could be a professional bartender from the way Megan was talking about her. So she's got this article here on Rolling Stone speaking about her, and I just want to run through this and then we're going to get into Cardi, all right? So they say Megan Thee Stallion talks about her love for UGK, working with Victoria Monet, and confirms the two sexiest Southern accents in a special new commentary for her latest album, Megan. The full track by track is only available to Amazon Music subscribers, but a couple of excerpts have been shared for songs like Paper Together, Accent, and Spin. So if y'all are Amazon Music subscribers, that means that she's got a video doing a commentary for every song on the album. And the only way that you can access it is if you're an Amazon Music subscriber. So all the hotties out there, if you want to get to these track-by-track explanations and commentary from Megan herself about the album, you're going to have to sign up on Amazon Music, which is low-key a really dope platform. It gets overlooked by Spotify, Apple Music, even Tidal gets a lot more love than Amazon Music. But I ain't gonna lie, Amazon Music pays pretty decently. I get way less streams on there, and they pay out a little better than some of these motherfuckers too. So if you want to get her some extra money in her pockets, you might want to listen to Megan on there. But they state, Paper Together is one of the highlights from the album, featuring Texas hip-hop legends UGK, complete with a posthumous unreleased verse from Pimp C. In the track-by-track, Meg reiterates her love for Pimp C, noting that her nickname, Young Tina Snow, is a nod to the late rapper's own nickname, Tony Snow. Bow! So, if you weren't into the lore of UGK like that, you would have never known that Pimp C's nickname was Tony Snow, and you would have never known that Tina Snow was actually inspired by him directly, right? She says, I'm a huge fan of Pimp, a huge fan of Bun B, and this feature means so much to me because I get to say that I have a song featuring UGK. But y'all know how iconic that is? Do y'all know how legendary that is? This shit right here really means something to me, but I know it really means something to the South, right? And in a Shay interview, she also talked about how much that meant to both her and Lil Ju made the beat, who's also a big fan of UGK. Elsewhere, Megan talks about working with Victoria Monet, her self-described twin, on Spin. Speaking on how the song came about, Megan recalls how Monet came into the studio wondering what they were going to work on, and Megan replied, "You ain't leaving this goddamn studio until you give me a song." So she held her ass hostage and said, "We gonna come out with something, goddamn. We not coming in here tonight just to hang out and have drinks. We gonna make some fucking music." Right? Furthermore, they state, and that, as Megan notes, is what happened. She says, "We got in there and she was singing a little hard out, and I was in there and I was like, dang, I gotta come hard because I love the way she's singing. The vibe is great, the melody's great, and I just felt like it was long overdue. So when we made the song, it just came out beautifully." Another major collaboration, on the album is Accent with Glorilla. She says, "I feel like people with Southern accents, people just love it when we speak. They want to hear me say it again. I feel like people love to hear Glow talk. I definitely love her accent. I feel like Houston and Memphis accents, these are like the top 2 sexiest accents in the South. And then Dallas." Then she says, "I'm just playing. Everyone knows people have this infatuation with New Orleans accents as well." But, shout out to her and Glow. It's one of my favorite records from the album. I've said that. I will stand behind that statement. Okay. They also state, the Megan track by track also features Megan talking about Rattle and Where Them Girls At. Again, the album dropped last Friday, June 28th, marking Megan Thee Stallion's 3rd studio album following 2022's Traumazine and her official 2020 debut, Good News. Okay, so there's that, and I just wanted to make sure I put a button on the Megan topic for now, and we're going to get into Cardi and her Janet Jackson sample and a preview of new music. Okay, this is another article from Rolling Stone talking about the situation, and they state, as Barty Gang eagerly awaits new music, Cardi B teased a potential track from her upcoming album. In an Instagram story posted on yesterday, there's a song that features someone singing, and I say someone because in the article they're saying that it's Cardi herself singing. When you actually hear it, I don't personally think it's her unless it's some heavy auto-tune, because we heard what Cardi sound like singing on that Flo Milli record, and it ain't like that. It ain't that. Okay? That's not her strong point. We heard her, you know what I mean? We heard her kind of singing on Like It Like That. It was like, whoa, it works, but that ain't vocals. Anyway, in the video, you can hear someone singing over Janet Jackson's Funny How Time Flies with the words, "Y'all like this vibe," for CB2 written across the screen. CB2 is a placeholder title for her sophomore album. And the song lyrics state, I hope that you're on your way, crazy about you, waiting on you, can't wait to sit on that face, focused on you." So clearly this is something sexy. This is going to be one of them erotic type of songs. You know what I mean? Low-key slow jam, R&B, love-making shit. The single from Janet Jackson's 3rd studio album, Control, has been sampled by a number of artists, including jazz artist Stanley Clarke, hip-hop group The Lost Boys, R&B singer and songwriter Tinashe, and the R&B trio SWV. Cardi B has hinted at a follow-up to her debut album, Invasion of Privacy, before sharing an Instagram video in March promising the long-awaited album. We also know that she snapped on her fans shortly thereafter, saying that the album was not coming, but the label came out and said, we're going to put that motherfucker out even if she don't have nothing to do with it. I think they dead ass serious. Okay. Most recently, Cardi B was featured on Rolling Stone's March cover star. Of course, they going to promote their own shit. Peso Pluma's album, Exodo, and in a remix to Glorilla's Wanna Be with Megan Thee Stallion. When it comes to releasing new projects, Cardi B told Rolling Stone in May that she makes the music that reflects her mood. She says, I might be mad with my man, da-da-da-da-da. We talked about that before. So there's that, and let's go ahead and pull up the preview of Cardi and this new record that she's teasing. And y'all know, when she starts teasing records, they probably are on the way. Every song that she's teased this year has low-key dropped. I ain't gonna lie, that low key sounds like could be Victoria, but at the same time, I don't know if that's her. It might be a vocalist that sounds like her, or somebody that's trying to channel her energy. I don't know that to be 100%. Somebody let me know. Some of y'all vocologists out there. You know what I mean? Let me know. But there was some tonality in there that reminded me of Victoria Monet. That would be dope to see her fuck around and pop out with Cardi. And I think that would be a good look, just period, to keep her run going. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, she's trying to propel her own star and working with these other ladies, these ladies that have already, seen the heights of success. Not to say that she's not successful, but she's still climbing. Although she's seen so much behind the scenes, on the forefront, she's still rising. But I like this. I like that it's a different vibe from Cardi. I like that it kind of puts her in a space that's away from like the super aggressive shit. Cause she's been popping so much shit this year and going at her haters and going at the other ladies in rap that don't fuck with her and all that type of stuff. And that stuff I enjoy. I like her when she goes hard like that. That's mainly why I listen to Cardi. But I don't want the album to be that entirely, because then at that point, it gets monotonous. So I like the breakup. I'm interested to see how she approaches the actual verses on the song. And if she comes out and proves me wrong and says that's her singing, I'm going to goddamn Hulk smash this desk. Because who the fuck been training you? What the hell? That's all I got on Cardi. Next up, we're going to move into the Deb and Nicki Minaj link up and the fallout, which came extremely fast. Like, they just linked up a few weeks ago and they done fell out all over again just in a few weeks. Good God. Great balls of fire. So Deb, who used to manage Nicki Minaj at one point in the early parts of her career when she was like first trying to prove herself to Young Money and get out there on the road, Deb took Nicki under her wing, took her on tour, had her working the Chitlin circuit, opening up for Gucci Mane. At one point, Waka Flocka was damn near like security detail for Nicki, taking care of her, making sure she was good, going from place to place. Eventually, Waka ended up putting out his own music. They became a trio out on the tour, not to mention OJ the Juice Man coming into the fold, right? But Deb has always had a soft spot for Nicki, even when she ran and ducked off from the team. She always spoke highly of her, always showed love to her. And although she felt like she was removed from that part of history, she always still remained gracious, right? So they ended up linking up recently. And Deb found herself on an interview, speaking about it. And we're going to pull up the clip of her speaking about the situation, which in turn got her in trouble and into the bad graces of one Nicki Minaj. Okay?
So recently we've seen you are now back working with Nicki Minaj, which I think we all, especially the Barbs, can say we are happy to see that relationship coming back together. Is it true that Waka used to be Nicki's bodyguard?
Yeah, he used to. I'd never let her go out. She couldn't go nowhere without him. I would not really the bodyguard, but wherever she
Make
went,
sure she was
Waka
safe.
and Boo, I would make my two sons go everywhere with her.
Wow.
And incidentally, me and Nicki was not beefing. That's the people.
Right.
That's the people that said that. So I'm a person that I don't clap back. I don't. If you notice that with me, I'm not on the internet talking about none of them.
This is true.
I don't do that. I don't reply back. I don't care what people say. I don't care.
And you've made that very clear. You've been very outspoken about many things. And you're like, I don't care what y'all got to say. Now, speaking of the media and the way they've been portraying Nicki in the last couple of months, we've seen her being very successful on Pink Friday 2 tour. But there's been some videos that have been circulating where people have been questioning her and who she is as a person. And you recently spoke out saying that you really don't like the way that they're portraying her, calling her a cokehead, creating these beefs between her and other female artists. Would you ever be willing to try to get her to sit down with possibly Cardi B and Lil Kim to try to amend their differences? I would love to see that. I would love to see them all come together.
I think that we all would love to see that, but people would have to be willing to do that. And to be perfectly honest with you, she's gonna kill me for even saying this, but I did reach out to Kim.
Okay.
Okay. And
it's just
so I think that one thing about me, in during that time, then I was with Nicki.
Mm-hmm.
So where everybody keep talking about she thinks she Kim, she never thought she was Kim, and she did look up to Kim. Mm-hmm. And I know that. The one thing about me, people can say what they want to say. I don't beef with women.
Right.
I'm not going through all of that. And I'm not putting women against each other. And I wasn't with her making her go against another female artist. Like that's not it. I'm not gonna do stuff like that.
Right.
And
right.
I'm not gonna advise her to do things like that. A lot of this stuff has to do with teams. And I can't say this enough. Okay? They want to see this because people swear to God that this is what makes the money. Unfortunately, it do. People drive to this. Your life is so negative that this is all you want to see.
Right. I agree with you 110%. And that's part of the reason why I want to see them all come together, because I love all of their music. And even to your point, with Nicki looking up to Kim, we all know Kim kind of set most of the foundation for female rappers to this day. And speaking of which, what do you think about female rap and where it has evolved to?
I don't think anything about it.
Okay.
That's a part of me coming back into this now. We need some order.
All right. That's Deb Antony and her opinion on the situation. She says she tried to extend the olive branch, reaching out to Lil Kim to create peace between herself and Nicki Minaj. There's also talk of her extending or attempting to extend that same olive branch to Cardi B. And unfortunately, Nicki said, hey, I never asked you to do none of that shit. As a matter of fact, I told your ass not to do that shit specifically because I ain't out here in the I'm not in the business of showing weakness to these motherfuckers. They never ain't gonna let me, you know what I mean? And I gotta be honest, although I've been critical of Nicki, I personally don't enjoy the way that she's handled relationships with most of the ladies in rap. I will say, if somebody's on my op list, if I don't fuck with this person, whether it was my fault or theirs, you don't go out this bitch on behalf of me saying shit. If it ain't sanctioned by me, if it ain't come out my mouth, if I ain't send it to you in a text, if I ain't send you an email saying get it done, ain't shit for you to get done. Goddamn, I just let you back into the motherfucking fold. We was just getting chummy again, baby. We was breaking bread. You know what I'm saying? We was dipping the bread in the motherfucker. You know what I mean? The little olive oil and garlic shit. We was doing it, baby. Why you gotta go and be weird to me? So I do understand why Nicki is angry, because it's like, dog, it's been a minute since we spoke. It's been a minute since we sat down and chilled. It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? We was just getting reacclimated to each other. The vibes were getting into a good place where I could have you around. And the first thing you want to do is go off and try to mend fences with some motherfuckers that I don't fuck with for whatever reason. Do I co-sign Nicki and Lil Kim beef when Lil Kim says out her mouth she wanted things to go smooth? She wanted to be that mentor role. She wanted to help usher her into the game. And she feels like Nicki went bad, like niggas got in her head. No, I don't co-sign that. Do I co-sign the beef with Nicki and Cardi B? Y'all have heard me say multiple times, I'm ready for them to lay that shit to rest. I'm ready for them to link up, make some music, put together a fucking tour, put together art. Like, I'm with that shit, to be honest. It's been a long time. Y'all been going at it for 6 years. At some point, y'all, it may never happen. They done both have said some foul shit. You know, people allege that both of them be on fake accounts keeping track of each other, and I'm not putting it past neither one of them motherfuckers, to be honest. So I don't know. It may never get better, but do I co-sign saying if what the fuck, what was the line? Can't remember. If you the quarterback, I'm Nick Lombardi or some shit. Nah, motherfucker, you ain't my coach. I never co-signed that. And I understood why Cardi felt some type of way, and I understood why she approached the situation and let it be known why she felt some type of way. I never expected a 6-year beef to come from that, but goddamn. So I'm not co-signing none of that. But if she feel like it's up, Cardi B said it her goddamn self. If it's up, then it's stuck. So it is what it is. Now let me go ahead and pull up exactly what Nicki Minaj had to say about the situation, because she didn't pull no punches. She was very specific about what the fuck what she said, and she meant that shit. You know? So Nicki came out and said, Deb, isn't it funny how you left out the biggest part of the story? So even on Twitter, when she tweets, she damn near talks how she do on Queen Radio. Isn't it funny how you left out the biggest part of the story? And then she goes into promo. Gag City second leg tour in the U.S. begins September. Next stop, Gag City, Milan, Italy. Previous stop, Gag City, Morocco. Almost 200K beautiful people came out. Then she goes into her next statement. I didn't ask you to do a thing. You told me after the fact, and I screamed on you and told you, if you reach out to people now that you're being seen around me, they will think it's coming from me. So to never do that again without discussing it with me first. I said I'd never want that, and that now she'd think that message came from me, which is not cool. She then goes into another promo. Pink Friday nails, Pink Friday 2 fragrance, Loki Nicki sneakers, Loki wear. Highest grossing tour by a female rapper in history, currently top 10 in history, competing for top 3 in history when the tour is done. Oh, Barbs, I love you. So weird activity with the promo in between statements, but you know, she gonna do what she do. She comes back. She says, so yeah, you laughed it off and said her and Foxy should come out on stage. So she also wanted she wanted Kim and Foxy to come mend fences as well on stage on the Pink Friday 2 tour. I ain't gonna lie, Deb, you trying to do a lot. You trying to pull a lot of motherfucking strings. You trying to be the puppet master. And I ain't even gave you no access to no strings. You just brought something of your own. I don't even co-sign the brand of fucking strings you brought in here. You done brought shoestrings. I want the motherfucking silicone ones. Damn. Right. So she says, no, I'd only want Foxy Brown to come out on stage with me. She's like family. No disrespect. God bless everyone and our children. Let us all do our thing and thank God for life. Stop using my name for clickbait in 2024. We get it. I'm that bitch. More promo. Pink Friday nails, Pink Friday 2 fragrance, Loki Nicki sneakers, Loki wear it, and she comes back. How dare you? Interviews. Ciao, woo-wee. This world, man, this world. Love yourself deeply. More promo. I'm not going to say it again. So I think that interview effectively got her kicked out of the fold, sent home. We tried to make it work. You couldn't get it right. We will never work again. Okay? On the heels of this, Miss Deb came out and had a few things to say. She put some stuff in her story. So in her story, Deb said, she put a meme that said, never get mad at someone for being who they've always been. Ooh. Be upset with yourself for not coming to terms with it sooner. So to me, that sounds like I can't be mad at Nicki for being herself. I got to be upset with myself for thinking she changed, right? I got to be mad at myself for thinking she would ever want to come to terms with being at peace rather than being at odds with these people. Especially, I think Lil Kim is the one that's really most important to Deb, right? This is an OG. This is a legend. This is someone who you looked up to. And I've always felt some type of way about Nicki in this capacity, where she always gave Foxy Brown the utmost praise and love when her style is mostly Lil Kim. Now, when she goes into the more gruff shit, I could see Foxy influence. But when you listen to the content of her music, you look at those early tributes she was doing, all of that type of stuff. I'm like, dog, you can't just erase history like that. But we'll keep moving. Deb also put up another meme that said, karma says, when you destroy someone's life with lies, take it as a loan. It will come back to you with interest. That's an interesting piece there. I don't know where the lies are there. Maybe she's trying to say, you didn't tell me not to do that. I don't know. Shit, fuck it. Furthermore, she comes back with another. My goddamn camera. Furthermore, she comes back with another that says, be careful of her. She keeps quiet in the background. She is strategic. She listens. She watches. She chooses her battles wisely. And once chosen, she fights to win. She is one of the dangerous ones. Okay. So I think all of these stories are alluding to the situation. She's going to keep quiet, stay in the background. She's going to be strategic about what's going on. She's going to listen and watch, choose battles wisely. You know what I mean? She's not going to go back and forth with Nicki about this situation. But don't fucking cross me. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay? So there's that. And then a fan comes out and says, Nicki, please, we don't need another hiatus. Okay, I thought this was very interesting because the fans are now asking her not to disappear, to stay out here, do what she need to do. Nicki says, well, thank Lil Debbie. Not Lil Debbie. Deb is damn near twice your age, not Lil Debbie. She says, Deb refused to let me grow up. She think I'm a kid. Her kid at that. I'm grown. And again, I may not agree with all the things Nicki says, does, but in this instance, if it's up and I'm standing firm on that, I don't want you out here thinking that you finna overrule my motherfucking gavel banging when it comes to my life, my career, my beef. You could take your ass home. You could continue your motherfucking show to go try to find the next me, goddammit. I'm gonna be on this motherfucking tour. So I understand it. I may not agree, but I understand. Right? So I don't know what that means with her talking about hiatus. If she's finna, maybe that's from talking online. Maybe that's from doing the Queen radios, station heads and stuff like that. I don't know. But she says, blame Lil Debbie if I do. So there's that situation. More fallouts. Goddamn. And before I go, I do want to mention JT has announced her album City Cinderella will be dropping on July 19th. She put a pre-save link in her bio. She says her hands were shaking posting this. Juvies, we here. And I'm gonna be looking forward to this. I'm gonna be looking forward to this City Cinderella situation. I liked OK. I liked the remix with Jeezy. I didn't like Sideways all that much. I wasn't a huge fan of No Bars, but it was decent. So we'll see what the album has to offer. I don't think No Bars will be on there. That was on the last City Girls album. So new material, hopefully. And we'll see what JT has for us in store. Oh shit, the Lil Mama thing. Lil Mama came out and called Nicki Minaj a musical prostitute. That shit was weird. So Apparently, rapper D1 had some issues with the BET Awards, and the women that were out here, you know, being sexy, scantily clad, showing body, a lot of sexually driven music was being promoted. We had girl on girl action with Victoria Monet and Tiana Taylor. We know D1 is definitely a devout Christian. Not sure why he was tuned in, but whatever, you know, he watches stuff and he gives his commentary. Lil Mama then comes and says, then they came out and gave Nicki an award for leading this pack. So she's basically saying Nicki is responsible for ushering in this new crop of female rappers that only want to be seen and heard for sexual proclivities, right? She's blaming her for this. Then she says corporate bars be going over our head. They laughing at us for sure. It's a very interesting statement. I don't agree with the statement, but I understand where she may be coming from. And this is a thing that, pardon me looking down, y'all, but just checking this email here. I understand because Nicki was at one point the female rapper, right? And she was giving us racy music. And when I say racy, I'm talking about, you know, sexually driven. And the bars was about the coochie and all that shit, right? And she was definitely an influence. I think just about every female rapper out there, if they were honest with themselves, beef or not, she was an influence, right? Neb Love, I don't even know who Neb Love is. They come in and say, I'm going to say Lil Kim led Nicki Minaj first. Wait. I'm going to say Nicki. Hold on. This person says, I'm going to say Lil Kim led first. Nicki Minaj came after. Lil Mama says, keyword, this pack. These young women are not influenced by Kim. Nicki is influenced by Kim. These women are 23. What major musical prostitutes do you remember from the last 15 years? Okay? So her assessment of a musical prostitute is selling sex on wax. But I personally, but you know what's interesting to me? If you look at some of Lil Mama's videos recently, she started wearing less clothing as well. You couldn't beat them. You tried to join them. You still couldn't join them. So now you want to beat them again? Okay. Furthermore, she says, who do you think they watched corporate give a platform and flowers for slutting out? Be for real. Like I said, they are laughing at us, and the award was a thanks to you. Now we have 7, 8, 9 of them. Prosperous Hustler comes in and says, Lil Mama, if you was invited to the BET Awards to perform, your ass would have went. Lil Mama replies to him and says, and that's your response to what conversation again? Are you saying that I would have been performing and selling pussy too? Or just performing? Somebody else says, why you brought Nicki's name into this? She responds and says, same reason why you hide behind fake pages, because I can. Okay. Sounds like you got a vendetta, Lil Mama. Neb Love comes back and says, I'm saying it started there. Pay respects. Nicki took the baton and ran with it. It used to be options. Now chicks think selling sex is the only option, and there are many musical whores, and the labels are the pimps. Lil Mama comes back and says, I agree there. We're definitely option in style and content. It's all love. God is the greatest, and these women are going to wake up and realize that they are worth more than any price tag. Sometimes we can't see ourselves. We are just living, so I can understand how this happens and feel normal. And initially, I think she was talking about Sexy Red. But I'm not going to lie to y'all. I don't like Sexy Red. I don't fuck with her. I've been trying to not speak on her, but she had shorts on. She had drawers on. Lotto had shorts on. Ice Spice had lingerie on stage. I don't, it wasn't the most flattering to me, but it is what it is. Megan I guess you could call what she had on more like a bathing suit. But she looked good in that motherfucker, so I don't give a damn what nobody talking about. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, not one motherfucking second. Definitely not for no 60. Y'all gonna leave her alone, period. But that's what I got for y'all on this show. Let me know what y'all think of all of this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. It's so much better on the inside than outside. And I will catch y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect, y'all. Enjoy your evening. Peace.
Yeah, king of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming, I swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.